So Rory Wyley, President of Cycling Ireland, you've been the President now for the last few years and things are progressing. How do you see the sport going forward in Ireland over the next few years?
Yeah, I think the sport will evolve over the next few years because we've changed tack a bit over the past year or two, going back to focusing on youth, and we've launched the Sprocket Rocket programme, which is a skill set for youths who are broadly aged between 7 and 11. We hope we have about 1,800 kids on that programme, and we work with clubs who are willing to work with that. And we just hope that will teach them the basic skill set that they can use across a broad range of disciplines. We don't particularly care, if you like, whether or not they progress to actually racing, because the cycling community is wide and diverse. You can cycle a bike from the age of, let's say, 5 up to the age of 105, as opposed to something like running, where you don't see many people 80 plus out running, whereas with cycling you can. It's a lifelong skill that you can acquire. So yeah, we do hope that the Sprocket Rocket, which we will be rolling it, it was sponsored by Subway actually, and we had a small difficulty in that the programme, because of the licence arrangements for Subway, they couldn't roll it out initially in the Northern Ireland, but we've resolved that little difficulty, so we'll be rolling it out in Northern Ireland as well.
Okay, so the Sprocket Rocket's going to be...
That's the Sprocket Rocket, and then beyond... Actually, I'm not absolutely sure if it's going to be called Sprocket Rocket in Northern Ireland, but anyhow, it's the same.
It'll be a youth development programme to get young people into the sport.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the participation side of things, leisure cycling and sportives and non-competitive cycling has really taken off.
It has, yeah. I became involved with the federation at the national level in 2004, I think it was, and we had roughly 3,500–4,000 members. Now, last Friday, I think the membership was 10,101, and what people often forget is that the majority of those members do not have competition licences. So the bigger church really is those who either A, don't cycle whatsoever, because there are some clubs have volunteers who help out at races, they don't cycle but they take out membership, and also the group that don't race competitively. So we should never lose sight that by far and away the biggest membership percentage-wise is always those who don't compete.
Okay, and then that's excellent. So there's a lot happening then in terms of the youth. There's plenty happening, as you say. You've described the membership figures there going up over the last few years, and the non-competitive side of things, and then obviously the high-level competition here today at the Irish Road Race Championships is obviously doing well. We've got more pros now than we've had.
It was, yeah. That leading group of 9, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were all professional riders. They were actually. There was no domestic rider in that. And I commented on the way around with some of the lads I was with that an awful lot of those riders would not be out of place in your Italian championships or your Belgian championships or your UK championship. They would be well able to put up a fight in those national championships. So yeah, it's good. It's good that we have riders at that level.
And then the women's side of the sport's improving as well.
The women's side, yeah, I think the numbers yesterday were higher than what they have been for a number of years. Unfortunately, because of the funding, we've had to put a stop to the women's track pursuit programme that we had going. But hopefully on the road side, that there are cross benefits. Siobhan Dervin, we saw yesterday, she was on the track over the winter, and it did her no harm at all. Caroline Ryan did a tremendous ride in the time trial. Her weather conditions were better on Thursday than what the men had on Friday, albeit, but she did 56 something compared to Baramia's 50:15. Now, there was obviously, as I said, that trade-off because of the weather conditions, but nonetheless, it was a remarkable time by her.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think you've demonstrated there that the sport's growing in all sort of angles, and there's women's and the roads going well, and the youth and the participation. So keep the good work up.
Thank you very much.